Hello. In my last video, I said many businesses don't need an ERP. And for some businesses, that is true. But there is a category of businesses that absolutely do need ERP. And if you fall into this group of businesses, not having an ERP will cost you even more. Well, not necessarily immediately, but gradually in mistakes, in delays, and in decisions you can't make on time. So today, I'll be giving you 5 signs to let you know when your business actually need an ERP to make life easier for you. Sign number 1. If your business runs on multiple disconnected tools, then you need an ERP. Not because the tools are bad themselves, but because they were never designed to work together as one system. For example, an app or workbook for sales recording, another app or workbook for purchase, and probably another one for keeping track of inventory, with a sprinkle of other apps or workbooks or any other thing to manage expenses. Maybe even Slack for communication, and don't forget another one for accounting. Each tool works great, but together they don't. And at the beginning, it feels manageable. That is when you still don't need an ERP, if they are still manageable. But if they no longer feel manageable because at the beginning, volume is low, people can remember things. But as volume increases, those gaps start showing. You start seeing duplicated data, conflicting reports, manual reconciliation, confusing between teams. That is even if there is any reliable reconciliation or even report. Sales says one number, accounting says another. Customer exists in 3 different places with 3 slight variations, and you begin to ask which one is actually correct. Now, how ERP actually solves this set of problems is that it brings everything into one place, one flow, one logic, and one version of truth. So you don't need to worry about customer existing in different places, because you only get to create that customer once and use it in other section of your businesses. And same for other records also. Sign number 2. If your business is growing but your operations are getting worse, then you need an ERP. Let me explain, because this confuses a lot of people. Once growing starts feeling heavy, you start noticing more errors, slower delivery, confusion in responsibilities. You hire more people, but things don't get better. Sometimes they even get worse. Why? Because what worked at a smaller level was never designed for scale. At small scale, communication is informal, processes are flexible, people fill in gaps. At large scale, that same flexibility becomes chaos. Growth is exposing your weak process, not creating the problem, just revealing it. At this stage, effort won't fix it again. Working harder won't fix it either. Then you need an ERP, because ERP will ensure structured workflow, define steps, and clear handovers. Sign number 3. If the same task is done differently by different people, then you need an ERP. Because then your business is dependent on individuals, not systems. And this one is dangerous because it doesn't fail immediately, it fails slowly. You will start by seeing inconsistent results, mistakes repeating themselves, training new styles becoming difficult. One staff does it perfectly, another does it differently, but both of them think they are correct. And over time, you lose control of exactly how things are even supposed to be done in the first place. Then a key staff leaves and suddenly performance drops because the knowledge was in the person, not in the system. At this stage, your business is not scalable because scaling requires repetition. I mean, same input, same process, and same output. What ERP does for you at this point is that it forces standard workflow. So the business works the same way regardless of who is doing the work. Sign number 4. The moment your business operates in more than one place, then you actually need an ERP. Because at this stage, coordination becomes your biggest problem, not even sales or marketing. Because now information has to move between branches, teams, systems, and you start dealing with inconsistent stock data, delayed communication, lack of central control. One location says we have stock, the other says we don't. Head office asks for a report and it takes sometimes days. Now, how ERP really solves this is that it connects everything into one system again. So all locations can operate as one, not as separate island trying to stay in sync. And sign number 5. If your decisions depend on delayed or manual data, this is where many businesses lose money without realizing. Because the problem is not visible, it shows up as bad timing, missed opportunities, wrong decisions. At small scale, delay is tolerable. At a larger scale, delay becomes expensive because at a larger scale, you need real-time reports, live dashboard, instant visibility, not end of the day summary, end of the week or summary, or end of the week report, or maybe monthly report. You need to see what is happening as at when it is happening. Things like stock levels, sales performance, cash positions, because timing changes decisions. And this is where ERP becomes critical. Not because it looks good, because it removes all those delays. You get to see your stock level as at when it is changing, accounting data, and the likes. In summary, again, many businesses don't need an ERP, and forcing it too early creates more problem than it solves. But when you reach this stage, not implementing it will cost you even more in terms of confusion, delays, and things slipping through. At this point, ERP is no longer a luxury.